I'm late. Don't hate because I'm late. I've been on a journey, y'all. I've been on a journey. And when you're on a journey, the journey dictates the time. Oh yeah, man. I am on a journey. I just got back from the journey. Yeah, just got back from the journey, without a doubt. Thank you, God, for bringing me back. You know, anytime you're able to travel per se, you you're supposed to learn something. Oh yeah, without a doubt, you're supposed to learn something, and we're gonna be teaching y'all something today, without a doubt. We're gonna be playing a speech. Well, actually, we're gonna be playing a debate from 1965. You know, it's Black History Month. I know it's Black History Month. Black History Month all month long. So we're gonna play a debate between the author um, James Baldwin and versus William F. Buckley, 1965. And I think this is a debate on race. We're going to be doing some similar things like that here on 95.7. We're going to keep the dialogue of race, oh yeah, in the forefront. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. Oh yeah, without a doubt, baby. Today is Tell the Truth. And you know what? We are a research station, the first of its kind in the land of America. Without a doubt, our goal is to improve our behavior so we can improve self, our family, and then overall our community. Oh yeah, we put it in practice over here. Oh yeah, the best move is a love thy neighbor move. Without a doubt, man. I got stats. I'll let you know. I'm the greatest dunker around here. I got stats for real. And I'm letting you know, not the crossover move. Oh, not the juke, a Barry Sanders move on the court. Oh, no, not like a Pelé move. No, no, no. Not a Wayne Gretzky move. No. We're talking about a love thy neighbor move. No better move than that. No better move than that. And then we have a neighbor coming up, a literal neighbor. He'll be here at 8:30 this morning. Brother Eric L. Ewing. Yeah, the L stands for love. He's an executive director over at the Great Plains History Museum here in North Omaha, located at 2221 North 24th Street. He'll be here this morning at 8:30 talking about what's happening over at the Great Plains Black History Museum. You know it's Black History Month, y'all. We're gonna drop some knowledge on you today. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. That means we tell the truth, but we also receive the truth. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. That's just a sign of love. Oh yeah, without a doubt, baby. Here at 95.7 The Boss, we don't participate in the ignorance. I know it's tough, but somebody got to talk to you like mom and them, daddy and them. You don't want mom and them to pull up on you. You don't want mom and them to pull up on you. Oh, it's a beautiful day today. If you're not smiling today, something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Something wrong with you. Because you know what? As you drive in this morning, be careful. It is slippery. I saw two accidents on the way here. 3-car pileup, and they big old Jeeps and trucks. You know, they think they all good all the time because they got a Jeep or a truck, or you got an SUV. No, there's all three of those vehicles in the accident. The car is just going by. So don't perceive because you got a big SUV or a truck or a Jeep that you can't get in an accident because ice. Oh yeah, black ice. Don't get mad at me because y'all call it black ice. Black ice will get you. It will get everybody. It got me a couple times last year. I fell straight on my hip twice. So black ice is out there this morning. You cannot see the ice. It's the thin layer, but it is icy this morning. The temperature is still right around about, hold on a second, around freezing. Hold on, let me get the exact temperature. Actually, it's below freezing still. It's about 28 degrees. So, bridges, elevations, as well as, entries on and off of the highway, it's going to be a little more slipperier. So just be careful. It's not going to get above freezing until around 10 o'clock this morning. All right. So expect a high around 48 degrees. It's going to be a warm one. I want to thank God for bringing us out of this freeze. Oh, man, I was out there in 24 below, so I know how it feels. But like I said, again, we do have a guest today at 8:30. My man, Ewing, he's the executive director over at the Greater Plains Black History Museum. He'll be here at 8:30 this morning talking about what's happening at the museum. They have a membership drive. Oh, yeah. They want you to be a member. So we're going to holler at him and see how you can become a member of the Great Plains Black History Museum. And people will always ask, what can you do for Black folks? You can be a member. Yeah, be a member. Call my man Eric a call. No matter who you are, become a member. Black history is your history, without a doubt. Omaha, the Birds, the Bluffs. You listen to William King, a.k.a. The Boss. Oh, yeah, y'all. I'm running for mayor of Omaha. I'm running for mayor of Omaha. And they said, why? People ask me, why? No, I'm just kidding. I'm getting a lot of support. However, I still need to get more signatures because, the last 2 weeks has been too cold, too snowy. So we're going to have some volunteers out in the next next week. And so we also going to have a pull-up drive here. They're going to pull up on us here at the radio station, sign that signature. And I did have a couple of people reach out to me, and I will be getting in touch with you. I was on a pilgrimage. Yes. What's going on, boy? Right now? Yeah, I was on a pilgrimage this weekend. Now I'm back from the pilgrimage. Had to go to the desert. Oh, yeah. Had to go visit the God in the desert. God everywhere. I go sometimes go to the mountaintop to see God. Sometimes I go to the desert and get the directions. So I'm coming back with the directions. We're going to be implementing conversations around race. There's a couple of incidents that happened here in Omaha recently. Well, one in particularly, a grade school student read a particular book that had the N-word. Norfolk, Nebraska, when Northwest High School girls basketball team, they got called the N-word. And then it's over with. Nothing get done. But here at the Boss, we about it, man. I went through the same thing, and it should not be continued or perpetuation of racism. We have to bust a pimple, per se. We got to be bold and stand up because right now, we got no one's addressing the real problems. We'll turn that music up. No one's really addressing the real problems. Again, today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. And we gotta just tell the truth sometimes, man. Somebody gotta tell the truth. I mean, everybody can't be liars. I mean, somebody gotta tell the truth. See, my mama, I encourage you guys to go to watch what's that Mississippi Burn, the killing of Medgar Evers. I mean, our people have went through a hell of a lot, and we show no respect to our ancestors. So how can we have other people show respect to us? It's just this plain logic. So we're going to be talking about some Black history all day long today. I'm going to be playing a debate between James Baldwin and William Buckley. We're going to be implementing some things like that here on 95.7 The Boss. We're going to keep the conversation of race in your face. Without a doubt, baby. Without a doubt. I'm running for mayor, and this is what leaders do. They lead from the front, not from the back. You see a problem, you go to the problem to solve the problem. It's just that simple, man. I really don't understand the logic and the rationale of today's decision makers. You know what? Sometimes I think your academia get in your way. I brag off my education. I brag off for real. I do my stuff for real. You see, I carry my banner. But one of the greatest lessons that my mother taught me was common sense. I don't know if people got common sense. We got all these other senses like touch, feel, smell, taste. But you got to put some common sense in there too. I don't know. Common sense is missing. I know I'm tough, but somebody got to tell the truth. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. We tell the truth all day long. Also, I'm accepting the truth. I don't mind constructive criticism. I met with the preachers. Last week, well, a couple of weeks ago, and it was a great meeting with the preachers. And y'all know that I'm tough on the preachers. But the only reason why I'm tough is the same reason why my mother was tough on me, because we got high expectations. We got high expectations for those that are leading the mantle of God. I mean, this is a time where the church must be in the forefront. Every everything that every movement, every Black movement have started in the Black church. Don't get mad at me because I know the history. Every great movement have started in the Black church. That's why I'm tough on the preachers, because the preachers are supposed to be up front, leading, talking bold, because they got God behind them or in front of them, inside of them, on the side of them, around them. I just want the those that represent God to be in the forefront, because right now it's needed. It's needed, without a doubt. All right. So I'm gonna play this. It's actually a debate. Hold on a second. Well, actually, Brother Ewing's gonna be in another 15 minutes, so I'm gonna maybe find something shorter. I'm gonna find something shorter to play. But in the meantime, I'm gonna play some music. Okay, we got some new music. Let me play some of this new music. And since we're talking about God, and it's a blessing to be alive. But people are still going through things. And uh, my Reverend Kelly, created the Hope Baptist Church, God rest his soul. He always he always uh, advocating. He always advocated that we not forget the sick and shed in. So, pause with me.
I thank you for everything that you have brought me through, everything that I was going to face. And when it seemed like everybody was against me, you said you would never leave me nor forsake me. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always come through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always come through. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help. I am without a God. I am the seed of David. Almighty, chosen and highly favored, blessed and not cursed. I am a brother, not me, because I am not weak. The Lord is my strength, my body I am devil. So he will never let my enemies everything me. I got the really grind. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. My help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always see me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always see me through. Prayer is my position. That's when he really listens. Cause when I gave him my life, that was the golden ticket. I'll never get beaten. You'll never take me out. Cause I'm just built on the rock. Hell shall not prevail. Gotta stay ahead of my life, not anybody else. Yes, I belong to him. There's no denying him. So if you're messing with me, you gotta deal with him. Cause all I gotta do is tell him that it's going down. My enemies are defeated before I even think it. My enemies are defeated before I even speak it. You might have got me in the battle, but I want the war. You might have got me in the battle, but I want the war. Cause in the end, my God got the last word. Cause in the end, my God got the last word. This round is coming back. It's for the battle axe. The Lord is my battle axe. So back, let's get it. The Lord is my help. My help, the Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always get me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always get me through. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always get me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always get me through. No matter what I'm going through, you always got my back. No matter what they try to do, always bounce back. Because of you, I can stand tall through it all. You said you're always here for me no matter what. You got me, so if you was where I put my trust. You said you never turn your back on me no matter what. And when I call on your name, you answer me speed and peace. So when I'm calling on your name, cause I know you hear me. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. The Lord is my help, my help. The Lord is my help, my help. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. No matter what I'm going through, you'll always do me through. The Lord is my help.
Oh yeah, the Lord's my help, y'all. Next coming up, y'all, we got a speech interview by James Baldwin, a great author, and he's talking about civil rights, y'all. It is Black History Month, y'all, and so we giving props to those that been part of the struggle. So check this one out again. This is an interview of James Baldwin. I'll let you know what year. I don't know what year this one is. It's like probably in the 80s. Boss with me.
There were no black people effectively speaking in London. In England, right now. They began to come after 1955. This is an extraordinary event for me because it's the black community, West Indian community of London, which is claimed to play.
What is wonderful is coming into the theatre and finding black people here at last, because they never come to the theatre otherwise.
Well, to tell you the truth, I often wonder why white people come to the theatre. There's very little in the theatre speaking to anybody.
Do you look at the play and wonder, do you want to change it? Do you feel it's relevant still?
I certainly wouldn't change it. In any case, the question is not whether it's relevant to me. It's certainly relevant to the people who claimed it, the people who are playing it, the people who are interpreting it, who are making it theirs. I wasn't, after all, 35 years ago. There was no guarantee that I would be alive now.
So you might as well be dead.
I might as well be dead, yeah.
It's about blind faith. Margaret, the heroine, just takes on faith.
Well, she takes on faith as a way of avoiding something else. Many people do that. Perhaps most people do that. In order to avoid confronting love. I mean, and love involves the terrors of life, and that involves the terrors of death. And faith is, for many people, a kind of hiding place in which you won't be hurt, in which you won't have to think about yourself, and in which you won't have to change, in which you haven't got to be responsible for your neighbor.
Why do you think your father became a preacher?
My father was the son of a slave, which has something to do with it. He was a very strong-willed, very powerful, passionate, proud man. And for a man like that, in the South of those years, to speak only of the South of those years, a man like that was menaced from every conceivable angle. He was a walking phallic symbol. He was the culmination of the nightmare white people have in their heads when they talk about the nigger. And he had to become a saint in order to become a man.
You mean to remove himself?
To remove himself from the world's absolutely merciless judgment.
Then why, at 14, did you become a preacher?
In a peculiar way, though, I was 14 years old. I couldn't possibly say it to myself that way. But my father's motives had something to do with my own, certainly. I wasn't as big as my father. I wasn't as visible, but I was very much like him. I was very proud and very difficult to handle. I, too, was a bad nigger. And a bad nigger, until today, let's face it, in the Western world, for the most part, a free black cat is looked on as a bad nigger. And he's in danger. And that was one of the reasons I entered the church, so I didn't put it that way to myself.
But where Margaret flies away from, in a sense, flees away from her sexuality, her sexual responsibility, in a sense, right? Do you think at 14 you were beginning to fear yours?
Oh, I think that must certainly be so. It was incoherent. Adolescence is an incoherent time. But certainly that had something to do with it. But it wasn't conscious. That became conscious when I began to be aware that as I stayed in the pulpit, as I began, against my will, perhaps, to learn more and more about my congregations and how little I could really console them, or I was much too young to give them any kind of wisdom. And I was learning more and more about myself. And I began to see, in a sense, I was hiding in the pulpit. And if I kept on doing that, I would become a liar. Lie to my congregations, lie to myself. And whatever faith, whatever possibility of faith and love there might be in my life, I would destroy it. So I left.
More people are turning to religion at the moment.
More people are turning to a hiding place. It's not the same thing at all.
Right. What is this? Well, you mean there is no such thing as religion? Or are you saying?
Well, religion, I think, I take my cue from Jesus Christ, really, who told me and told all of us to love each other, clothe the naked, feed the hungry, and visit those in prison. And if you can't do that, you're not a believer.
Mm.
I don't care what church you go to.
Mm. And the world can't be behaving as though it's religious.
No, the world
You're
is,
saying.
the world is full of blasphemies.
But I wonder why there are born-again Christians then in large
Because they're
numbers.
panic-stricken. Because they don't know what to do with this century. They don't know what to do with what they made of the world. They don't know what to do with the choices they made. Look at the world, the Christian world.
Are you as frightened by the world as you were when you were a
I'm
child?
not frightened of anything anymore.
You were. You
Oh,
were.
I was terrified.
Mm.
Well, terror can have one or two effects. You know, if you've got any sense, you realize that you better not run.
Mm.
There's no place to run, so you walk toward it. At least that way you know what hit you.
Terror was because you were a black, right?
Terror was not because I was black. It was because I was despised.
By the whites.
Yes.
As a black, right.
Mhm.
Now, but one thing that recurs in a lot of your writing is a feeling of this person, James Baldwin,
Mhm.
feeling lonely.
Oh,
Now-
it's universal.
And right, that's not to do with color, is
No,
it?
not at all.
That's born, like, I interviewed somebody recently, a woman who said, loneliness is when I had a recurring dream, and I still have it, of being in the world with nobody else in sight,
Mhm.
no living thing, no grass, no tree, just me.
The song says,
And it's terrified her all her life.
well, we have a song which says, images down in the valley, where I couldn't hear nobody pray. That's also where you find the strength of whatever it is, the grace to move in that desolation.
When you moved from America to France,
Mhm.
as a young man with not much hope of much of a living, were you fleeing for company? Were you fleeing from loneliness, from terror? What were you doing?
Well, the truth about that is, my baby sister, whom I named, was born the day her father died. And in my own mind, I was in effect her father. But I had worked for the Army, I had worked for the Post Office, I had worked for all kinds of people for quite a long time by that time. And I knew I could not survive the Post Office for 17 years, which I thought would be the time that she would need to able to take care of herself. I'd be 36, and assuming I'd survive the Post Office, which was very unlikely, it'd be too late to start. So I had no choice but to jump. You know, it was when all my eggs, as you say, were in one basket. I had to become a writer or perish. And so I jumped.
But you left her,
I had to leave her in order to,
survive.
well, in order not to betray her, I had to leave
When you
to
When
write
you-
the book.
when you went to France, you were saying as a writer, were you not, that you were not going to write as a Negro writer,
Mhm.
as a Negro man. You wanted to be a man, a writer,
Mm-hmm.
taking what you knew
Mm-hmm.
to other people, find out where it connects with
Mhm.
other people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Was it easier to do in France than anywhere else?
Well, it was easier. I'm not sure if that's ever easy, but it was easier in France because at least there I was released from the hostile eyes of white Americans. I was released. See, the worst thing about that is that first the world calls you a nigger, and imperceptibly you begin to call yourself a nigger. You begin to react that way. You begin to confirm the world's judgment. And that was beginning to happen to me in New York. I was so touchy that I was like a spring. I began to invent insults and danger. I realized that I was doing it to myself. And so I had to get away and find out who I was, not what I was, but who.
Mm.
And since I was after the French, very, well, if you're not French in France, you simply don't exist. And I was invisible in France, and that was what I needed.
But when you went to France, what got me, it amused me in one of your essays, I think I read it, was you, in order to find out who you were,
Mhm.
you actually took a typewriter and some Bessie Smith records.
That's right.
To remind you who you were. What did
Well,
that
I didn't
mean?
do that.
Why the Bessie?
I didn't do that consciously. I've been very sick, and a friend of mine carried me off to the hills, the mountains of Switzerland to bring me back to I was very ill. And I carried the 2 records with me in the typewriter because I was working on Mountain. I've been working on Mountain at that time for almost 10 years. And it's true, in that chalet in the snow, I listened to Bessie Smith and to Fats Waller, and they carried me back to what I myself had been like when I was a little boy, and gave me the key to the language, which gave me Go Tell It on the Mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Don't press that skip ad button. I can guarantee it will be the biggest financial mistake of your life. My name is Louis Navalier, and I'm a member of America's 1%. I manage over $1 billion for America's wealthiest elite. But I didn't create this video.
We were in the theatre watching you play last week, and I noticed something, which I think is a tricky thing about, let's leave aside the very, big issue of race for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The race in quite a small everyday way I'm going to discuss with you for a second. This chap, right, he looked intelligent, he looked well off, he looked liberal.
Mm-hmm.
And since there were a lot of blacks and whites in the theatre that night, there was a black family, and their baby started first of all to gurgle, then to sort of laugh out loud, then to make a noise, then to cry,
Mm-hmm.
then to bawl. And he turned around, because it was a quiet part of the play, to say something. And then he saw that they were a black family. And he slowly turned around like that, because he couldn't actually say, tell them off, like he would of a white family.
Oh, that means you will tell them off in another way, in a worse way. The only interesting question about that anecdote is why the black man or the black family thought they should bring the baby to the theater.
Yes, I wondered that too.
Well, I know why.
Why?
It's the same reason that people took me to see, let's say Marian Anderson when I was very young. Same reason I took my sister to see Paul Robeson when she was very young. I know why. Black people need witnesses in this hostile world which thinks everything is white. That's why I brought his baby to the theater.
What is a little comfort blanket? His comfort.
No.
His what? What?
Something. The child will not remember he was there, but something in the child will register that.
I see. I do see what you mean. But I do think, however, to go back to this point I'm making, that it is extremely difficult, isn't it, when there are racial prejudices around?
Once you
For us to-
examine what the word racial means, after all, everybody's a race of one kind or another. We're not talking about racial prejudice. We're talking about the structure of power. The structure of power which has the right and the duty to tell other people who they are for very dubious reasons. After all, one of the reasons I'm black is because I had to be black in order to justify my slavery. That's part of my inheritance and part of yours too. It's got nothing to do with race. It's a way of avoiding history.
When, in another of your essays, you had a mother say that her words to you were, I wonder sometimes what makes white folk so mean. Why? Why?
Well, that was a mother talking about her son, who was the only student, black student, in a white class in Little Rock 30 years ago during the school integration crisis. And he was going through hell in that school. Not only from the students, but from all the other white people too. And yes, she was a real wonder. What in the world do you see when you look at my son to make you treat him that way? No one has done anything to you.
But why then do you think it is?
I really think that, though it may sound a little strange, I think that the hardest thing for any human being to do is to forgive somebody they know they're wrong.
So that white people live with a guilt.
White people live in generality, as far as I can tell, live with a nightmare of the nigger they've invented. They have to have the nigger to justify the crime.
Do you think?
So they don't see the person.
Do you think that people ever get rid of prejudices? Do you think they
It
just
is
let
not
them?
a matter of prejudice. It is a matter of cowardice. It is easy to blame the nigger or the Arab or the Jew or the dyke or the faggot. Anyone who isn't you. You don't want to see that you could be that person. That in some way you are that person. Original racial prejudice is one of the most abject cowardice.
It's cowardly, all right. That's the surgery. But I mean, what is it that makes people frightened? Because to be a coward is to be frightened.
But what you see in other people, whatever you see in other people, is what you see in your mirror. What you try to do is isolate whatever it is you see in that other person, which is you. Everybody knows, for example, if you listen to every writer knows. If you listen to me, if I listen to you, no matter what I'm saying, no matter what I may be describing, I'm describing myself.
There's a prejudice that at one time was against homosexuals.
At one time.
Yeah, hold on. When it was a criminal offense. Then that got removed.
The law.
And people started to appear to accept. Back it comes again now because of AIDS.
It never went anywhere. It never went anywhere. People's attitudes don't change because the law changes. I know that. And homosexual questions like these, it's like a racial question. Nobody, no man and no woman, is precisely what they think they are. Love is where you find it. And you don't know where it will carry you. And it is a terrifying thing. Well, it is the only human possibility, but it's terrifying. And a man can fall in love with a man, a woman can fall in love with a woman. There's nothing anybody can do about it. It's not in the province of the law. It's nothing to do with the church. And if you lie about that, you lie about everything. And no one has a right to try to tell another human being whom he or she can or should love.
But when you wrote Giovanni's Room a long time ago, that was quite a brave book to bring out, wasn't it? It was about love. It was about homosexual love, but it was about love. But you deliberately put in homosexual love, presumably.
Well, the boy is in the middle. It's not so much about homosexuality at all. It's about what happens to you if you can't love anybody. It doesn't make any difference whether you can't love a woman, you can't love a man, you can't love anybody. You are dangerous. Because you have no way of learning humility. No way of learning that other people suffer. No way of learning how to use your suffering and theirs to get from one place to another. In short, you fail even the responsibility, which is to love each other.
Hey, would you like to learn to code by making computer games? My name's Ben, and I've already taught over 300...
Are you still in despair about the world?
I never have been in despair about the world. I'm enraged.
Enraged, all right.
I don't think I'm in despair. I can afford despair. I can't tell my nephew, my niece. I can't tell the children. There's no hope.
I suppose I'm wondering whether we're more materialistic, more selfish.
I don't know. More. I think that we're more panic-stricken. I think that I walk through these cities, the cities of the Western world, London, New York, and sometimes it resembles the most poverty-stricken cities of the East. There's been a breakdown, betrayal of the social contract in Western life. And people are grabbing for things and holding on to what they think they can get and stepping all over their neighbors because they are panic-stricken.
What, comforting themselves with material things?
Yes, but when people do that, they are reacting to something is beginning to crack. People hoard all this because they don't have anything else. They don't really believe in it. And they kill to get it. That proves the moral bankruptcy, which translates itself into actual bankruptcy of the world in which we live. We have yet to understand that if I'm starving, you are in danger. People think that my danger makes them safe. They're in trouble. It is clear to me, it's clear to many, that what we call the political vocabulary of this age cannot serve the needs of this age. And we will have to find a way to get beyond our crippling habits. This is not the 19th century. Queen Victoria is long, long dead. And Europe is no longer the center of the world.
Centre of my world for a while.
Thank
Today.
you.
James Baldwin.
Thank you very much.
James Baldwin, who died on Monday. We showed that programme again instead of our Build interview with Sir Alec Guinness, which you will be able to see next Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday. In the meantime, good afternoon.
Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We got a guest in the house. I'm going to get him set up real quick. Brother Eric Ewing is in the house. But that was James Baldwin, actor, famous author. And so he was part of the movement. And so just want to give you guys a touch of history. We're going to be right back with you. This next song is called Molested. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday. We got a lot of people that's going through things that sometimes we don't ask. But being a former probation officer, I understand what's going on. And so if you are going through this, reach out to someone because, love is necessary. Here at The Boss, we don't participate in the ignorance, without a doubt. Our goal is to make sure that we improve self, our families, and our community. We are part of the timeline of freedom, without a doubt, baby. This next song is by our neighbor, Bacon and Cherry. Oh, yeah, they're a couple. I think he just proposed to her, so they're about to get married. And we actually love our neighbors. Y'all preach about it? Oh, no. We bout it. And so this local artist, this next song is called Molested. If you have gone through this or going through this, please reach out to someone. If you are suffering from it, please seek help. We have help right here in the community from Charles Drew. Oh, yeah, Raptor Street. Right across the street from the projects in which I've grown up from. And so they still there giving not only physical health, but mental health, without a doubt. All right, so reach out to them. If you need other resources, you can call 211, or you can even call Boys Town Hotline if you are needing help. This is all community love. Boss with me.
As I sit back thinking about my past, knowing now what he did to me was all bad. When I sat on his lap, why he hung me back? My distant cousin, who ever could imagine that? My mama had to work them 9 to 5 to provide. Sometimes it was all night. She left me with family that she trusted. To my innocence, I'm telling you, busted. He asked me, could I keep a little secret? I said yes, then the child mo proceeded. You better be lucky I'm not scarred for life. For what you did to me, I hold the pain inside. I can't lie, sometimes at night I cry. I wipe my eyes and pray to God you'll get yours in time. I can't lie, at night, sometimes I cry. I wipe my eyes and pray to God you'll get yours in time.
Got good help.
So that's historic. We'll be turning the light when we provide internet service for that community. then when it comes to Omaha, I secured my final infrastructure deal. I'm just waiting on the feds to give me the final approval. Yeah. Then we'll start building on the South Omaha.
Good. Are you getting grants for that, or?
This one, no. It's equity crowdfunding from Obama administration. They pass a law where you can have unaccredited investors, similar to what Marcus Garvey did, where he sold $1 stock. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So I applied for this platform, starting with me. So that's the type of platform, but it's regulated by the SEC. So once we get on that platform or another platform, if we don't get approved from that one, then we'll do crowdfunding campaign. So we have local owners. Some of them go to the youth, like the Boys Club, Girls Club. I'm gonna ask them if they want to be owners in the year.
Well, hey, I'll send some names.
Yeah. So I know the next generation, they use the internet all the time. They know the value of it. And sometimes our older people be complacent.
Yeah, they don't understand. That look, just to ask our kids who are falling behind the impact that all the stuff that when the COVID and everything happened and the lack of internet, how it affected them with staying up to date.
Right, without a doubt. And then it's black owned. It's black owned, and I'm from the projects, so I'll let them know.
Well, that's by us.
I'll let them know. So if I can do it, it can be done.
We lived in Parker.
Okay.
We got, I don't know how long it was.
Okay. It's any time. It's you can represent. Oh, yeah. I don't care if it's a day.
Matter of fact, my cousin was killed.
Who's your cousin?
Her name was Brenda Rose.
Okay. Slide down right here. So you talk naturally. All right. Omaha, the birds of love. We got our guests in the house. And you know how these stars are, they got their own nouns, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes and predicates to introduce himself. He represents history. And when you represent history, there's a lot of words in history. Coordinated, choreographed, based off of the individual. Oh yeah, he deals with words all day. Depending if it's the great Harry Tubman, oh yeah, the words are coordinated based off of what she did. If it's Langston Hughes, oh yeah, the words, you got different words, but they coordinated in different ways based off the history of Langston Hughes. If it's Kathy Hughes, oh yeah, he's still dealing with words because the words are coordinated because of the streets of Omaha and what that woman had built. So this man deal with words all the time. When you deal with history, oh yeah, it's like, sometimes I used to go film. I call myself, I'm the history catcher. I catch history. Oh, I got you. You know what I mean? I got the history because I videotaped it or I wrote it down or I took some pictures. Oh yeah, I'm the history catcher. Now we're doing it on audio and video and we're catching history. We're catching history today because we stream it on social media, Facebook, YouTube, but also we broadcast it on 95.7 The Balls. And so as his face mask says, bam, boom, oh yeah. This is no cartoon though, y'all. This is real life. And he runs a real organization that talks about the history of our people. This is Black History Month, baby. Oh yeah. I love the contributions of our people, but sometimes they don't be put in the history books. Maybe we can talk about that too, because I'm tough on OPS, like I'm tough on ministers. When you don't have Black history, then that creates ignorance, not only for our people, but it creates ignorance for other cultures because they don't see the contributions of Black folk. Oh yeah, don't get me preaching this morning. Don't get me preaching, because I got bam boom. Oh yeah, he got me fired up. One today is Tell the Truth Tuesday, Tell the Truth. I'm gonna let him introduce himself, and then we'll get right into dialogue. How you doing today, brother?
Good. Thank you for having me today.
Let people know who you are.
Eric Ewing, I'm the executive director at the Great Plains Black History Museum located at 2221 North 24th Street, right in the heart of North Omaha.
Right in the heart. It beats right here, huh?
Oh, yes.
It beats around here without
365.
a doubt. Now, you have obviously got vision because you always keep the museum relevant.
Yes, yes.
What's going on now? I know you have a membership drive. I want to talk about that because that's the most important thing. But we want to get people involved in our Black history, and we got our neighbors asking how can they help, and this is one way they can help.
Well, you know, for one thing, with the membership drive, as you mentioned, one reason why we do that annually during the month of February is because it gives everyone an opportunity to donate and help the museum grow. Where some organizations have these big fundraising events, and not everybody can pay the price for admission. But to purchase a membership, it doesn't put a dent in anyone's pocket, and so and then it also gives them an opportunity to say that they contribute to help preserve and keep the museum up and going.
Right. So you started membership. How long is the drive going on? The membership drive going?
Well, we do the membership drive all month, all during the month of February, but memberships can be purchased throughout the year. But we really push it, during the month of February. It's partly because of Black History Month. So.
Okay. Now, how can they get involved? Where do they need to go to acquire, the membership?
To purchase a membership, they can go to our website at gpblackhistorymuseum.org. They can also give us a call at area code 402, number 707-932. 932-7077 is the number. 402-932-7077. A membership application and fill it out.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. Okay. That's easy.
Oh yeah.
That's real easy.
And as simple as $10 can get you a membership.
That's it.
For an individual, a student, or a senior, $10. For a single person, $20. For a family, $40.
Okay.
For a business, $100. And for a lifetime membership, $500.
Okay. So you say $10 for an individual?
Yes.
Okay.
For a student or a senior.
For a student or a senior, and for
a single individual, it's $20.
$20. Okay, $20 investment. Okay, I got $20. I got $20. I got $20. I got $20 there. I'm gonna be a member today before I leave. I'm gonna give you $20, and then I'll be a member for sure, without a doubt. And so I want to make sure that we preserve what Miss Calloway, started way back in the day. I remember going there into the museum as a young lad. Yes, a young lad. I know how to use big words. You know what I mean? And so you are continuing that tradition, that great tradition, which is necessary.
Definitely.
Now, are you the beacon of Black history?
Well, I'm trying to preserve it.
Right.
As I tell folks, when you say beacon, you're saying the museum.
Right.
Because I want to make sure that the attention is reflected upon the museum and not on myself.
Right.
Because it's not about me. It's about, ensuring that I'm able to, that the legacy is able to continue, that Mrs. Calloway established. And then when my time to leave, the museum is still existing and thriving and moving forward.
Right. Well, but in your position, you are the beacon because you're fulfilling big shoes.
Oh, yes. I feel like how when a child steps into their parents' shoes, and there's a lot of room for growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point where I'm at. I feel I'm at right now.
Now we have a lot of history here in Omaha. How should people be preserving their family history that have like a dozen of cousins? You hear about them, the larger family do the picnic and all that stuff. How can we preserve some of this history that's going on, even from the latest kid that broke the record, the ultimate rusher at North?
Strong. Yes.
How can we preserve that's this recent history, was this history, but also collect old history that might be in someone's attic. They don't know the value of it, or they don't know the value of it, and don't know where to go to find out the value or the history of it. Does them have that ability to?
Younger folks, what they can do as a way of preserving is oral history, recording, the history of, sitting down with their parents, and recording their story.
Okay.
And that way you preserve that, if there's actually physical items, try to keep those items set aside. And because I think when Mrs. Calloway, when she used to, what I've been told, was she used to go to empty homes or abandoned homes and kind of look through those homes to find various artifacts for the museum. So, if your parents or your family, you have some older things that may not be of value to you, but they could be of value in preserving the history. And so I tell folks they can either donate it to the museum or they can loan it to the museum. And when we display it, we don't just put it out there on display. We put it out there with something to tell a story.
Right.
So you're looking at it.
If you are, most of our older folks have like older TVs and older record players. That's the record players in the middle that had that old stuff. So just let's be wise and think about our neighbors, and also think about the future on how we can continue to tell the stories of those before us. Get in contact with Eric Ewing at the Great Plains Black History Museum. It's 2221 North 24th Street.
Correct.
Yeah. What's that phone number again, Eric?
Phone number is area code 402. Number is 932-7077.
Now, the membership drive, where can they go to be a member again?
They can go to our website at gpblackhistorymuseum.org. Or they can also stop by the museum. We are open for visitors and for guests, but it's by appointment only. And we don't allow more than 8 folks in at a time. And masks are required and temperatures are taken upon entry.
So when are schools gonna get back to rotation? I know schools come down for all the time. So is that maybe later on this year or when?
Doing a lot of virtual tours and things today. We're doing a virtual tour with one of the local banks, and they also sponsor a school in Skinner, Magnet School. Some of those students are going to be taking a virtual tour today. I also have a virtual tour scheduled for Sacred Heart students today, right after I leave here.
Great. How can we get those 150 CEOs that say they want to do something for Black people? How can we get them to participate in preserving Black history? To me, that's one of the greatest things and one of the foundational things that we can do, because if we can't show the inventions that we have participated in or were stolen from us, then how can we prove our worth and value for our next generation?
Well, one way they can help us is help us, with a capital campaign, so we can build a new facility that will be, a beacon for the North Omaha area for tourism and things like that, and then also for the members of the community to be able to come down and enjoy,
right.
and build some self-worth and some pride on the fact that being able to see the contributions and the things that we have done and we contribute to America.
Now, I don't want to get you in no hot water. I want to get you in the hot water, so I'm going to keep you in the warm water. Okay. So, and I'm going to ask you just a broad question. So I'm not pointing no fingers. Y'all, I take responsibility. Now, is it important to have Black history taught in our institution? Do you feel that's important?
Yes, I feel that all history is important, including Black history, and not just reserved for a certain period of the year, but throughout any school curriculum, because if it's woven in throughout the school year, then it's not something that you take and put up like a holiday, type thing, and you dust it off and pull it out for February and display it, and then put it away until next year and,
Right.
you know, wash, rinse, and repeat over and over. So, yeah, I think it's important for, you know, Black history, Hispanic history, her story to be told throughout the school year.
Without a doubt. I agree with you also. I just wanted to just ask, you know, because I feel it's necessary when we are not taught about Tuncho of his heroics for his people, or we're not talking about Malcolm. Then,
Homegrown, yet very little talk spoke about. You know?
Right. So then it creates ignorance for both sides. One side feel like, man, we didn't do nothing. Everybody else built all this. And the other people say, man, y'all didn't do nothing. We brought y'all over here slaves. Y'all lazy, even though we built everything. So,
You know what? I tell people, you know when we became lazy? In 1865, when our labor was no longer free and the 13th Amendment was signed, abolishing slavery.
Right.
That's when we became lazy, when our labors were no longer free.
Right. So, yeah. So, life in the city, that's history, and that's from Brother Eric Ewing. We're not lazy, y'all. We built this country without a doubt. Next week, we're going to continue this week. We're going to continue just playing different speakers that have been a part of our freedom. And I'm going to play some tough speakers later on that's going to be really tough. And so, but it's Black history. And here, history is history. And her history is done to our Black women during slavery. Oh, my Lord. We don't talk about it. We whitewash it. And we got to make sure that we tell our history so it does not be repeated again. Brother Ewing, is there anything that we else communicated today, but we want to make sure we get across?
No, I just that support from the community, support from anyone that thinks that what we are doing is of value is greatly appreciated.
Okay. All right. That's what's going on. But plug it out. And give that contact information again, Brother Ewing.
You can reach us at on our website at gpblackhistorymuseum.org. You can call us at area code 402, numbers 932-7077. And if you also want to send us an email, you can send us an email at info@gpbhm@gmail.com.
Without a doubt. They are currently having a membership drive, student and elderly, or senior, $10, individual, $20, a business, $40.
No, family 40, a business 100.
Okay, all right. And a lifetime, $500. You know, I got a little memory. I'm trying to put down this smartphone because smartphones actually make us dumb because I can't remember no doggone numbers.
There's no need to, yeah.
It makes you lazy. I gotta put my game up. I gotta start my game up. Omaha, Nebraska, and then in the past, how many people has there ever been a Black mayor?
No.
Never been a Black mayor.
Came close one time.
Came close one time?
Yeah, unfortunately, I wasn't living back here at the time, but we did come close. Mrs. Brenda Council came pretty close, and some say if more folks had gotten out for the elections, then it would have been a different term, and it would have been a different outcome, and she would have set history.
Without doubt. Well, she still created history by being close, but also it shows the complacency of Black folk because we had the numbers, but everyone didn't vote. And so I'm gonna remind y'all in this election, we're gonna have people that's coming every year, or like my brother Ewing said, on a special day, it's called election season. They come out, they sign themselves up, they smile, they make promises, and then when election season's gone, they put themselves away and you don't see them again. And none of the promises that they make have been fulfilled. I'm a Democrat, But I get way more love for the Republicans. I'm just going to tell you how it is. I'm just going to tell you how it is. Today is Tell the Truth Tuesday, y'all. When I walk in the door, even though I'm part of the Democratic hierarchy, I get no love because I have the ability to hang out with Republicans. Now, since we talk about history, the original slave party is the Democratic Party. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Now, my big cousin, y'all know who my big cousin is. You know who I am? I'm William A. King Jr. Y'all know who my big cousin is? Martin Luther King Jr. See, y'all know my history. I don't tell a lot of people my. So I gotta keep it real, y'all. I know y'all want to wishy-washy. I know y'all want to play video games and watch cartoons. No, but this is real life. People are dying for real. People have died for real. So we can exist. So this brother have history museum because of all the sacrifices of those brothers and sisters. So we can live and talk how we talking today. Because 100 years ago, 150 years ago, maybe 175 years ago, Negro, you better not talk around here.
You don't even have to go back that far.
Yeah, unless you're right. Negro, what? See, I'm 2 generations from slavery. I'm gonna let y'all have it. The plantation house that my mama grew up in still exists. She was born in 1930. Her siblings were born in the early 1900s. See, I know my history. Do you know yours? And so we continue in history. We're blessed to be building on the Indian reservation. I found out that my great-great-grandmother is full-blooded Cherokee. So, but we are Black Americans. We are a different subset of people because our history has been stripped. Our name stripped. Our religion stripped. Our language stripped. We're the only human beings on earth that don't have their original names. Don't get mad at me because I gotta tell the truth today. It's Tell the Truth Tuesday. And these are the ethics that I learned in Hilltop Projects because we also gave constructive love or tough love when people are being mischievous. And if you want to accept responsibility, I've got to spank you per se. Because when I got in trouble, Brother Ewing, I couldn't blame God. God made me do it, or the devil made me do it. I had to accept responsibility for myself. So, Brother Ewing, I appreciate you coming in today with the boom, bam, kabam. Without a doubt, I appreciate you. You are necessary. Our story, her story, his story is necessary. Yeah. And you are a part of that message. So make sure if you are transitioning, someone had passed in your house, invite Brother Ewing. I think that's a great idea of someone passing. They go check out these artifacts that's invaluable to history, and not only that family, but to this community. Yes, correct. I think that's. I never thought about that. That's a great idea. All right. Anything else, Brother Ewing?
No, hey, as always, I say, hey, thank you, Mr. Kingmaker, for allowing me to be on the show. I appreciate it.
Man, anytime, big brother. I seen you had the Mercer Drive. We gotta make sure that we continue to show love and we not talk about it, but be about it. Without a doubt. We all listened to 95.7 The Boss. Earlier, we played famous author James Baldwin, who is not only a great playwright, but I think he wrote plays, things like plays and other things, but he was also gay. And so I want to make sure that we get a total picture of those that have fought for our freedom. And we need to use this as a teaching moment. So now before you brother Eric get out of here, racism is continuing. My great niece plays basketball for Northwest High School. They were in Norfolk last week and they were called the N-word. Now, everybody in Norfolk is not racist because they were cheerleaders that consoled the female team. So to let you know that everyone is not racist, that everyone is not being taught racist things. So how are we going to handle it? Then I heard a teacher at a Catholic school reading a book that had an N-word in it. I don't know how they got the video of it. I kind of question that. I don't know how they got the video of it because why would we have a video in an elementary class? So I'm kind of questioning. I got to be an investigator, being a former probation officer. That brings us spotty senses. Yeah, bring my spotty senses. Yeah. I got to validate that one because I got to validate that one, you know. But we know that what happened in Norfolk. So we're going to continue the conversation on race. I contacted Miss Colleen Brennan, who is our current city councilwoman. She started a conversation on race, and I had her on the show, and she got beat up. I got beat up. I got beat up because they wanted me to attack the white woman. A black man attacked a white woman. What you trying to do? You try to get the whole community burned down? Don't that happen to you, bro?
Oh yeah.
That's the history.
Yeah.
And we have black people telling me to attack the white woman, mess up my reputation, hang me, and then they got probable cause to come burn down the community. Oh Lord, haven't we learned something?
Well, if you can't have frank and honest conversation, then what's the purpose?
How can we prove history? Does it start with conversation?
Oh yes, you gotta have that conversation. If there's no conversation, you know, we all stay in our silos, and we don't advance. So conversation has to be started, whether uncomfortable conversation, comfortable conversation, but it has to happen. And particularly the uncomfortable conversation, because that's where growth is made, and that's where change is made.
Good brother, you have reinforced my meeting that I had yesterday. And so we're gonna continue that dialogue, myself and Coleman, because the conversation of race is necessary because racism has not stopped. But we have to set up a mechanism where we come up with solutions. And this is what leadership does. This is what I've been doing. Ever since college, I've been bridging gaps between white people and black people. I went to school with brothers and sisters that never went to school with white folks because they were from DC or Chicago. Never went to school with white folks. Then I went to school with white folks that never went to school with blacks because they're from Meade, Nebraska or Sutton or even Omaha because I didn't get busted until 1976. So I've always been there a bit black because my best friend, his mama was white, his daddy was black. All his other brothers and sisters came similar to your color, little mulatto. But he came out white. That's my homeboy at Hart Kennedy. So this white and black stuff, man, I conquered that stuff. That's elementary. So you got to have people that's able to bridge gaps, to bring the races together in order to find out commonalities. And we're working on those similarities. It's very common sense. See, my mama got way more education than y'all, the ones that got PhDs and MAs and BAs. She has common sense. These are common sense solutions that my mama taught me in Hilltop Projects. So I got to teach y'all educated people. Lord have mercy. Today's Tell Truth Tuesday. You know, today, on Tell Truth Tuesday, it's tough around here. It's tough around here. People don't like the truth. But also, we got to accept the truth also. Not criticism that demeans, I'm talking about criticism, constructive criticism that builds. There's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. That's a criticism of love. If you're drinking too much, man, you need to stop drinking. Man, you need to go get a job. Man, you need to stop beating your woman. We need to start showing that kind of love, period. Omaha, the Birds, the Bluffs, it is 9:13. I'm going up to Macy, Nebraska. Shouts out to the Omaha Indian Reservation. Oh, yeah, without a doubt. We're about to turn on the switch pretty soon. We installing our last wireless infrastructure on our last tower. Man, it's historic. We're building the poorest community in Nebraska. Shouts out to Governor Ricketts. Shouts out, I know y'all hate him. Shouts out, I know y'all like Trump either, but Trump, that's how I got the money. We were curious, actually, if y'all want the bag, you gotta follow how I got the radio station free. I got it for free, $0. You know why? I read legislation. It only cost me the ability to read, write, and count. You know how I got the internet company? I've been working on it for 7 years. You know how I got the funding for it? I read legislation. Y'all watching cartoon playing video games. I'm following money. They allocate money. It's like that nursery rhyme. I'm only your bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Schoolhouse Rock. I follow that same principle. At 9 years old, 8 years old, I follow that same methodology that I learned as an 8-year-old. Schoolhouse Rock on how a bill went through the House, come out for public notice so we can participate. Go back to the House. The House passed the bill. Then it moves to the Senate. Senate debates the bill. Then it comes back out to the community for public notice. Then we put our. It goes back to the Senate. They pass the bill. Then it goes, bill, is the president going to sign it into law, or are they going to veto it? Oh, now that bill got to go all the way back to the process. See, baby, I read. It only cost me the ability to read, write, and count. To acquire a radio station, acquire an internet company, a black man from North Omaha, from Hilltop Projects, one that stuttered, mother couldn't read or write, but pick cotton for y'all for free. Now we coming to Omaha, baby. Now we coming to Omaha. So, Brother Eric, you got my support. Brother Eric, you the history catcher. I'm trying to be in the museum one day, brother. I'm trying to be in the museum. The only way you do it, you gotta have stats, right?
Well, hey, contribution.
You gotta have stats. You gotta have stats. You gotta have stats, baby. I'm a Hall of Famer because you got stats, baby, of contributions. Omaha, Nebraska, the Burbs, the Bluffs. Again, I'm running for mayor of Omaha. I'm not running on promises. I'm running on things I have already done. I'm running on work from yesterday. Yes, I'm running from work from yesterday. Not promises like everyone else. I'm promising I'm going to do this. I got criminal justice experience. I work with prosecutors, judges, and the police. I've done precinct investigations. I know what to do when it comes to police. It's very simple. We need more black police officers. That's why I had our new chief deputy sheriff come in here, Brother Hudson. I had him sitting right here. I have Officer State Patrol Bell, Keith Bell, in here, talking about the opportunities that exist in the State Patrol, but not only with the sheriff's office. We have Omaha Police in here advocating their opportunities. The only way to change the system, we're going to participate in the system. Period. So shouts out to the black families, the foxholes. They should be in this museum because it's a lineage of police officers. And I remember the one Brother Foxhall, the older one, pulled me over. I was right on 40th and Ames. I'll never forget it. And I was a young man, and you know how young men make different decisions.
Yeah.
And he scolded me and advised me to make a different decision, and let me go.
And obviously, you made different decisions after that.
Yes, but we need a black man to represent the plight of another black man when he goes to the car to ask for his ID. The whole different understanding when you have someone else come into the car that doesn't look like you. So the only way that I experienced that because I had a black man come to my car. Now I have had white men come to my car. They have been just as fair. I've been let go for a white guy too. I said, hey, whoa. Yes, but we need more of us protecting us. That's all I'm saying.
True.
Without a doubt. We are out of here. It is 9:19. I thought I had to go to the dentist. I think I missed my appointment. Dr. Jones, man. Sorry about that, Dr. Jones. I apologize. I told the truth. I can't lie. I missed the appointment. We out of here, y'all. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We out of here, boss with us.
Thank you.
All right, brother.
This is a public service announcement.
All right.
Are you tired of hearing about the coronavirus?
Oh, no problem. Welcome back anytime. Just let me know what's going on.
Oh, yes.
Stay home.
And then we can make that happen.
Stay at least 6 feet away from others.
We're taking virtual
Frequently.
tours today.
Oh, man, I got one starting at 10. I got one at 11. I got one at 12.
Okay.
And I think I got, then I'm UNO on a panel for UNO with Cecil Hicks.
Okay.
And then I got 5:30, I think 5:30 or 6, 5:30 with the YWCA.
Okay.
And from Lincoln.
Okay.
Their board. But yeah, man, it's not the home. I've done over 58 virtual tours. I was in Alaska last Wednesday. I was in Indiana.
We take a picture of your camera.
Oh yeah. In Indiana a couple of weeks ago. And let's see, so far this year, I've been in 15 states.
Okay.
You know, last year I made 39.
Oh, yeah, just like this.
Visit omaha.itex.com. Become an iTex pro. Visit omaha.itex.com.
This is a public service announcement.
Are you tired of hearing about the
Maybe, bro.
All
coronavirus?
right, good. Thanks very
No
much.
problem, bro. Anything you need, let me know.
Don't panic. If you're sick, stay home.
No, but I did have a meeting with the councilwoman about actually setting up a conversation on race, where maybe our first meeting probably be, or I'm gonna do a Zoom. I want to do it live. I want to do it either in church or school. And she feel cut questions on the whites. I feel questions from some blacks about perceptions of each other.
Yeah, get somebody here to moderate. Maybe talk to Willie about moderating.
Who?
Willie.
Okay. Yep.
Because, you know, this is the second incident in which I've heard that happened. Crazy crap. There was a basketball game or something, an event, and a kid said something recently. I'm doing a virtual tour with their students tomorrow and Thursday. And I was talking to one of the teachers, and he said, one of the students said, he's tired of hearing all about all this. See, that's because he's privileged and the situation's not impacting him. And for a kid to yell out some racist, that's because they've been emboldened to do so.
And they've been taught.
They didn't just do that on their own. It's been uttered in their household.
Right. Period.
You know, and so when you hear them